everyone and welcome. Ryan Nordahl here, Epic Whitetail Habitat LLC. Today I want to talk about when is the best time to harvest does on your property. But before we begin, if you haven't already, or you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button. Give this video a like. But now, let's dive into it. When is the best time to harvest a doe on your property? You know, I don't think there's a one-size-fits-all answer to that question. For me personally, I am blessed enough that I have 3 different properties that I can hunt. I can hunt my property here at home. I have my brother's farm where we do the majority of our doe killing. And then I have my proving grounds, our 80 acres that sets off the farm a couple miles to the south of it. That particular property, I have one particular buck that I'm after, and I don't want to go in and screw that property up just because I'm in shooting does. Now, I'm not saying I won't harvest does on that property, but now is not the time. I have a buck that's showing up on camera in daylight on that particular property. Getting more nocturnal pictures than I am daylight pictures though. Doesn't mean that he's nocturnal. There's no such thing as nocturnal deer. I want to make that very clear. There is no such thing as a nocturnal deer. The only reason he's showing up nocturnal is because I don't think that he's bedding on my property, but he is traveling through my property just after dark in the evenings before he's heading out to the main destination food source that he's after right now. But that being said, hunting on my brother's farm is a totally different scenario. My brother's farm, and this may be true for you, but the smaller your property, the more aware you have to be. If you have a buck showing up on your small property, you don't want to be going in there and boogering up just to shoot a doe. I like to wait until after I've harvested that buck or know that somebody else has harvested that deer before I would go in and start shooting does off of that property. For my brother's farm, we're shooting does right now in the early season. It's a great time. I want to fill my freezer. I'm blessed enough to be able to have my brother's farm where we can reduce the doe help him out by reducing the doe population. My brother's farm, he does not hunt, but he's overrun with does. So we're in there taking out, you know, I've got 3 doe tags to fill this year. Do I have to fill every doe tag? No, I do not, but I think I will because I love venison so much. My kids love venison. Not so much my wife. She can't get over the gamey flavor. But myself and my kids, we love venison. I prefer venison over beef, but now is the time I want to be shooting does on that property. Again, the next time I want to be shooting does, especially like on our proving grounds, is after I harvest the buck that I'm after, if I get a chance to harvest him. I'm not saying I will harvest him this year. I'm saying if I get the chance to harvest him and after that period, that's when I'll be going in there. The next great time, of course, is late season. I love late season bow hunting. There's nothing better. Yes, deer are more aware of their surroundings at that time. It can be a challenge at that time. Food is becoming more and more scarce. Deer are becoming more and more predictable if you have a food source that they want to relate to at that time of year. Here we have the advantage in the North Country where we can get a lot of snow, a lot of deep cold temperatures that'll get those deer on those feet, especially after a prolonged period of cold weather. That first warm up after a prolonged period of cold weather is a great time to be in the woods as well. And that's a great opportunity to shoot a doe, especially earlier in the afternoon on those afternoon hunts in the late season. Because again, those does, they want to relate closer to a food source. They always tend to do that. And it's a great time to harvest does. So it depends on your circumstances, how large or small your property is, and if you've harvested that deer that buck that you're after already. Those are the things that you got to take into consideration, and I hope you will. I hope you found this video to be helpful in answering that question of when is the best time to harvest a doe on your property. But even if you hunt public land, anytime I say on public land is a great time to harvest a doe, because you just never know what's going to happen on public land. There's people in and out pushing deer all over the place. You know, you got anything from small game hunters to people that are just out for an afternoon stroll, whatever. Now is a great time to harvest it, get that doe out of the way on public ground. But again, the smaller your property, the more and more you have to put thought into it. What is your ultimate goal? Do you want to kill that mature buck? Or do you want to risk boogering up that property now, harvesting a doe, going into your great core areas and bumping that buck out of there, trying to recover your doe? Or do you wait until after you've shot that buck? Those are the questions that you got to ask yourself. So again, I hope you found this video a little bit helpful. Give this video a like and a share, and leave a comment on what you do as far as harvesting does on your property, if you harvest does at all on your property. So thanks for joining me. Again, if you haven't already or you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on that bell notification. That way every time I upload a new video to this channel, you get that notification right away. And hey, any of the products or tools that you've seen me using in this video, you can always find links in the description below this video, or check out my website. Thanks for joining me, guys. Good luck this season. God bless you. Keep living the dream.